Welcome to the 2025 Big West Men's Volleyball Preview presented by the Hawaiian Islands. I'm Chloe Clark, joined by Rob Aspero, and we're set to bring you all the players, coaches, stats, and stories you'll need to get ready for the 2025 Big West Men's Volleyball season. Rob, before we look ahead to this season, let's look back at last year and a season that ended with a Big West representative making a sixth consecutive appearance in the national championship match.
Chloe, the Big West is a national powerhouse in men's volleyball. Who can forget last season's championship match when the number 1 seed, Long Beach State, took down number 2, UC Irvine, on their way to a 4th appearance in the national title match since 2019 and an overall record of 27-3. 2024 was another great year for Big West men's volleyball, and with the caliber of teams and players in the league this season, this year's championship at the Simplify Arena at the Stan Sheriff Center on the campus of the University of Hawaii will be a must-see event.
Before we get into the championship, let's talk about the season ahead with the coaches and players who will be making headlines all year long. After a quick break, our preview begins with an inside look at 2 teams on the rise, CSUN and UC Santa Barbara. All that and more when the 2025 Big West Men's Volleyball Preview presented by the Hawaiian Islands returns.
America's best play in the Big West. Don't miss the Hawaiian Islands presents the 2025 Outrigger Big West Men's Volleyball Championship, April 24th through the 26th on the campus of the University of Hawaii. Be there as 6 of the nation's elite teams battle for a conference title and a top spot in the postseason. Visit bigwest.org for more information.
Welcome back to the 2025 Big West Men's Volleyball Preview presented by the Hawaiian Islands. Here's Chloe with a closer look at the schedule for the CSUN Matadors.
CSUN goes against a few exciting opponents this season, including USC on January 22nd, GCU on February 19th, and Princeton on March 12th. Rob has more with Matadors head coach Theo Edwards and senior setter Donovan Constable on their outlook for 2025.
Theo Edwards, coming off your second season as head coach of the Matadors, can you describe where you feel your guys are at in the, what we are calling the theocracy or the Theo era?
Yeah, I think, last year was pretty awesome. We graduated some pretty special guys, and specifically Kyle Hobis, Griffin Walters, and then TC, Taylor Cook. I think when you lose that type of leadership and older guys, there's a little bit of a lull there. And I think this year has really been about other guys stepping up, and guys like Donovan here next to me who have started to become kind of the new and spoken leaders of the team. And, I think for me, it's really just been establishing the culture that we have. And I think the guys are incredibly bought in. They're incredibly excited for the season and really looking forward to year 3.
You've got 4 starters returning with first team All Big West setter sitting next to you, Donovan Constable, All Big West honorable mention and Big West All Freshman team member opposite Jalen Phillips, and outside hitter Lorenzo Bertozzi returning. How did they look in the fall, and what expectations do you have of them?
I think you look at both Donovan and Jalen, both of those guys have really grown tremendously. Last year I feel like was a real breakout year, especially for Jalen, and it gave Donovan an opportunity to really build a connection with him. And we've seen that really just continue to develop over the fall. I think these guys have a really special relationship on and off the court, and super excited to see where it takes us this year. Lorenzo, I think, is a special case too. He really didn't get a whole lot of playing time last year, and I don't know that really says anything about him as a volleyball player. It's more about the level and the depth of our team last year. He's moved back to the left side this year, and I think that's really where he's most comfortable, and I think he's going to have a major impact. The other guy that's returning that got some playing time, especially towards the back half, was Chris Carnizes, who was playing libero for us. And I think Chris learned a ton last year. He was on the court as a freshman and got to learn a lot from TC, and now has TC kind of in his corner as a coach, which is really helping him establish himself as a libero. And I'm excited for those 4 guys. I think they're going to be great leaders for us.
Well, Donovan, I'm going to have you tackle the back end of the question there. How is the rest of the team looking, and what new pieces can we see take court for the Matadors?
I think this is for sure the most depth that we've had since I've been here. You know, any guy on the bench can come on at any given moment and do great things for us. So, but I think some names that you'll definitely be hearing this year is Stilian Delibosov from Bulgaria. Guy's just an absolute beast for us, and we're already clicking. That setter middle connection, and then I'm not going to give away all our secrets, but I'll leave you with that one. But yeah, just the depth on our team this year is incredible, and it's making our practices, just intense and very competitive.
Theo, Donovan, appreciate your time here today, and I look forward to catching you in person when the grind starts happening in the Big West.
Absolutely.
Rob, thanks so much, man.
This year, the Gauchos have some key matchups, including back-to-back road games against BYU on February 7th and 8th, and another back-to-back against UCLA on February 26th and 28th. Here's Rob with Gauchos head coach Rick McLaughlin and senior opposite Jess Bianchi.
All right, in 2024, the Gauchos, true to their reputation, always battled through the entire season, pushing teams to the limit in their matches. And can you share your reflections on the 2024 team and what that competitive journey was like? And we'll start with you from the athlete perspective, Jess.
2024 season, it was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, we did not win many games, but we definitely battled. It took a lot of teams to 5, like Long Beach and Hawaii. We battled with them. Couldn't get a win, but it was a lot of fun.
How about you, Rick?
Yeah, it was, we kind of knew going in, we had a pretty young squad. It was going to be a learning year, and we wanted to get as many guys to play as we could, just get that playing experience. And we got it. We really had a lot of different lineups, and a lot of guys got valuable experience. And like Jess said, we went 5 with a lot of teams. We just couldn't get over the hump in a lot of matches. But if history has taught us anything here, whenever we do that, we usually come back with a pretty good season the next year. Those 5-game matches are real valuable.
Great to be tried by fire there when you're going the distance. And it seemed like, Jess, you came out of the season hot out of the gates, and everyone realized they were throwing entire blocking lines in front of you, and even then they had a hard time stopping you. But what really made it a breakout offensive year for you in 2024?
I think a big portion of that was the speed that Walmer would set me. He likes to go fast back, and I like to get fast sets, which kind of throws the block off a little, helps me be able to go around them. They're going to be late, so I can go under them, and it's pretty easy to tool when they're on their way up. So I think that was a big key to my success.
You return a good core portion of your starting lineup. That includes you, Jess, and Big West All Freshman Team Middle, Josh Arruya. Can you share a little on each of the athletes? And if you want to share in third person, Jess, that's totally fine. We won't judge you. But there are a few other guys that are coming back as well. I'd love for you to touch on. So let's go to Rick, and then I'll head over to you, Jess.
One guy that we didn't get to see much of last year, he might have played 3 matches, and then he had hip surgery and was out the whole year, and that's George Bruning. He's been working real hard at transitioning to the outside, and he really wants to be an Olympic outside, and he's doing great. So the hip has come back pretty strong. He's almost at 100%, I'd say, and he's been real valuable over the fall. Josh went home and did a USA thing and decided to lift hard, and he's way stronger now, and his arms gotten a lot faster. He's everything that a normal sophomore does, he's developed, and he's going to be a force. He's been very good. And our liberos, we got one back that we didn't have last year, Max Gordon, and he's competing with Joe Wallace, and they've raised our gym to another level. They're such good liberos. We're fortunate to have 2 really high level guys at that position. So add all that to Jess coming back, who was our best player by far last year, and I think we look good. We got a lot of work to do still, but middle of the season we should be a pretty good team.
There you go. All right, Jess Bianchi and Rick McLaughlin of UC Santa Barbara, appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you guys in person.
Rob, 2 all-conference players from a year ago return with Donovan Constable of CSUN and Jess Bianchi from UC Santa Barbara. What do you like about these two?
Donovan Constable of CSUN has gotten on the radar of many players and coaches, runs an effective offense, and with a high-flying opposite hitter, you know the Matadors are going to be a lot to deal with this season. For Jess Bianchi of UC Santa Barbara, he gets better every match, every season. With a whippy left arm, Coach Rick McLaughlin's got a good lot up in UCSB this year.
Most definitely. After the break, we're taking a look at UC San Diego and Hawaii. Don't go away. Welcome back to the 2025 Big West Men's Volleyball Preview presented by the Hawaiian Islands. Chloe Clark here alongside Rob Aspero. Rob, let's take a look at our next 2 schools, UC San Diego and Hawaii.
For the University of Hawaii, they return freshman setter Tread Rosenthal, along with the senior leadership of libero Eleu Choi, but they also bring back the French bomber in Louis Sakanoko. So the Rainbow Warriors are going to be battling come postseason here in the Big West. Now here's Chloe Clark with a closer look at the schedule for UC San Diego.
This season, UC San Diego will take part in the North American Challenge January 3rd and 4th. In the tournament, the Tritons will play Trinity Western, Calgary, and UBC Okanagan. Here's Rob with Tritons head coach Brad Rostratter and senior opposite Anthony Chiffon.
Jumping right into it, Brad, your Triton team wrapped up the 2024 season, having some great battles, knocking off 6 nationally ranked teams. Hawaii, CSUN twice, as we were just talking about, and UC Santa Barbara. It seems that you, in your second season, have started finding your groove in the Big West. Can you provide some reflections on that season?
Yeah, I think anything we're doing and really everything that we're trying to build and establish here, it's just going to take work and has to naturally be a process that we're kind of trying to establish, create, build, and enhance for all of our athletes and for us as coaches and as a staff. So, I think it's just the culmination of a lot of hard work that group we had last season and put in and developed and grown and matured to really put us in a great spot to be competitive and to get some positive results out of that.
I wanted to jump into your squad specifically. You have a senior heavy squad, and all of whom contributed from year to year and have improved, and it's very noticeable. But what are your expectations of them in 2025?
The expectations, really, it's been set and led a lot by them, and they know what we're striving to do, what we're trying to accomplish, and that's building a culture where we're competing for national championships, and that's being a part of our identity, and that's being a part of what we're doing when we wake up and get up in the morning to what we're doing as we're winding down and maybe watching some practice video or watching some match video as we're getting ready for bed in the evening. So that's building that identity and really continuing that. And yeah, we have this moment we're in, we have the season we're embarking on, but there's also a bigger picture for these 11 seniors, and some of them have some extending eligibility going throughout that. But the picture gets even bigger when you think about the legacy they want to leave, the mark they want to leave on our program, and how they want to continue building upon the amazing work that they've put in over their time within our program.
Now, Anthony, you're up there. Well, you're one of the upperclassmen, so to speak, but you've been with them 2 to 3 years. But what's it like being able to go through your final season here in 2025 with a tight group of guys?
Rob, it's something that is unexplainable. Words can't even comprehend the memories I've created, the connections, the experiences, and just everything that we've accomplished as a group, from Coach Brad to, the players to the assistant coaches and just everyone around the volleyball world. It's a blessing. What keeps me going, though, is waking up every day, striving for perfection, and knowing that I'll never reach that, but just striving every day to get closer and closer is what basically fuels me and eases my mind. And that's a culture that we want to ingrain in the younger guys and build on, because in reality, if we just keep striving for perfection, we're going to get even better and better, right? Knowing that we're not going to be able to reach that, just taking a step closer is what fuels us, and that's what keeps the competitive spirit within our gym. So I'm just grateful to leave this year with a bang and to shock everyone around the volleyball world. So.
All right, Brad Rothstetter, Anthony Sherfan, UCSD or UC San Diego. Appreciate your time here today.
Thank you.
Hawaii has some exciting matchups this season. Starting off in January, they play Harvard January 8th and 10th. They also host the Outrigger Volleyball Invitational March 13th through 15th versus Ball State, Penn State, and USC. Rob sat down with the Rainbow Warriors head coach, Charlie Wade, and sophomore setter, Tread Rosenthal.
All right, Charlie, coming off the 2024 season, I know it wasn't where you wanted to be at the end because you only have national championship in mind, which is why that makes your program so highly respected and so competitive. But reflecting on 2024, how would you characterize everything that happened and just get your thoughts?
For us, I think we're in the top 5 the whole year, and at one point we're ranked number 1. And yet when it ended, it didn't feel like it was a very good year. Obviously, the biggest impact was losing Spiros Hawkes, who was National Player of the Year candidate and really playing great. We were ranked number 1 when he went down in the last match of the Outrigger, and we just kind of hung around from there forward, but didn't really have the firepower on the pins to be a top team and qualify for the NC2A tournament. And I think that left kind of a bitter taste in a lot of the guys' mouths, and worked really hard in the offseason to get us back in contention.
With all the competition that's been happening throughout the NCAAs, we saw so many different teams bring so much new talent from different areas of the world, and your team being one of them. Can you talk about your roster that you had last year versus what it's looking like for this year?
It's a lot different. We have I think 10 new people on our team this year, and it's just it's been great. I love all the guys. We've been meshing very well on and off the court, and now it's just about getting our core group together and getting it all figured out.
So it sounds like you got a bunch of giants. If Tread's grown to be 6'11", you got some 6'10", 6'9" middles, and then whoever's at that left pin is standing around 6'6", 6'7", maybe bigger.
Yeah, they're all jump touching. The height is one thing, but it's where you're touching. They're all probably 11.5 to 11.9. Some, like you said, get closer to 12 feet. But it's the game's played at the top of the antenna anymore. So you got to have guys that can get up there and compete up at the top of the antenna.
Well, Tread, let me ask you about this. In your fall or scrimmage season, how's it been like playing with the new group of guys and the competition you've had, whoever you've been competing against?
Yeah, it's been amazing, especially because, he doesn't like to say it, but we are kind of a young team. It's nice because everyone's energetic to play and just really wants to get on the court together. And honestly, playing against each other. Practice has been amazing, getting reps against our own guys, and then the fall trip to GCU was a good outing. We went out there for a weekend, played, I think, somewhere around 15 sets, and
wow.
Did pretty good on most of those sets. So yeah, no, it's been exciting just getting everyone in the gym and just getting those connections down.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate your time. I'm looking forward to, actually, I don't get to see you in person this year. I'll be watching online for sure, unless, of course, you need some extra support out there with your broadcast crews. But those guys do a great job. I'll hang and watch back here.
There are just 2 teams remaining in our preview, plus a look at our preseason poll and all-conference team. That's coming your way right after this short break on the 2025 Big West Men's Volleyball Preview presented by the Hawaiian Islands.
America's best play in the Big West. Don't miss the Hawaiian Islands presents the 2025 Outrigger Big West Men's Volleyball Championship, April 24th through the 26th on the campus of the University of Hawaii. Be there as 6 of the nation's elite teams battle for a conference title and a top spot in the postseason. Visit bigwest.org for more information.
Welcome back. Our final segment features both ends of the black and blue rivalry, UC Irvine and Long Beach State. Rob, what excites you the most about these two programs?
The 2024 ABCA Player of the Year, Hilaire Heno's got the highest volley IQ and a potent offensive threat for UC Irvine. For Long Beach State, Moni Nikolov, brother of Alex Nikolov, the 2022 ABCA Player of the Year, who's grabbing international headlines with stellar and smart play for a young setter at 17 years old. Now here's Chloe with a closer look at the schedule for the Anteaters of UC Irvine.
The Anteaters kick off their season with the UC Santa Barbara Invitational, where they play Menlo, Tusculum, and Missouri S&T January 9th through 11th. A rematch of the championship semifinals against UCLA will also go down February 19th and February 22nd. Here's Rob with UC Irvine head coach David Niffen and senior outside hitter Hilaire Heno.
All right, Coach Niffen, 2024 was an amazing season for you and the Eaters as you returned to the NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship for the first time since 2018. But what are your thoughts on the team's accomplishment last season?
Felt like that's always the competitive objective, and yeah, it's good to be back on that stage. I don't, for me, the difference between 23 and 24 was kind of, I felt like we were a similar team with similar credentials, and we just happened to be the NCAA tournament 24. But those are two top 5 seasons back to back for us, and that's a comfortable place. That's where we're aiming for, is to be relevant in that zone.
Well, Hilaire, go ahead and speak about your accolades from last season. Obviously, the ABCA Player of the Year, amazing award. You had a phenomenal season. You comment a little bit on that?
Obviously, coming into the season, I wasn't really expecting any major things. I was just vibing with the team and getting as far as we can with obviously the mindset of winning it all. But just the couple first games and then later in the season, I felt like the team we had was very consistent and really helped me to bring my best. And I think I was doing a good job bringing the best out of each other too. Yeah, it was super nice. And with Shuey, it was so consistent. You knew who he was gonna set, and you knew where he was gonna set it. So it made it way easier. It made my job way easier. Mm-hmm. But yeah, looking forward to running it back this year.
Hey, Nip, this one's for you, and I know you alluded to it. You've had this just instinctual ability to do plug, play, and win lineups. If something happens, you're able to find the right piece to put in there, like Andon, Kiriakou, and you just are able to make adjustments, and it's canny or uncanny how you're able to do that.
Yeah.
You talk about how you're able to tweak so many different lineups and then put a winning lineup on the floor.
Yeah, I think we have been able to stay relevant in large part because we have some really flexible athletes. We have a team full of problem solvers. I don't know that. Yeah, I think back on some of our most successful teams and the starting lineups that finished the year, and some of the guys that lifted up trophies, and they were not, on anyone's top recruiting radar. But they come in and they learn how to be flexible. They're good problem solvers. We get some really intelligent kids here, and sometimes, it's not that they're out muscling or even out playing anyone. They're just kind of figuring out where they need to put their effort and their resources. So Andon's a good example of someone who came in and his role was very clear in what he needed to do in that match. Where I think about our 5-set loss in the outrigger last year, where we were just 10 minutes before the match, we had to make a decision on who was playing and who wasn't. We ran the old school 6-2 and ended up going 5 with at the time a healthy Hawaii team on their home court. And I think that just has to do with the fact that we have some really well-rounded volleyball players that understand how the game is won and lost. And, obviously they have to execute at a high level, but I think it's some of that helps us.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate your time today, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the brand on Court 21.
Love it. Thanks, Ron.
This season, Long Beach will have a non-conference mid-season homestand where they play Princeton March 15th and NJIT twice, March 21st and 22nd. Rob has an inside look at the beach with their head coach, Alan Knight.
Hey, Al, you're coming off a 2024 season where your beach team was a national championship runner-up. Your teams have advanced for the last 6 NCAA men's volleyball championships. How have you been successful in creating the winning culture at the beach?
I think, it's something you work on for a long time as the head coach. And I think as the years go on, you kind of figure out a little bit more about the niche that you want to be in and with the kind of kid you want to recruit. And obviously success helps breed more success. So recruiting has been something that's been, we're in a good spot. I guess the best way to put it, as far as when we're recruiting kids or, in the hunt for kids, we're having some good success, and we have for years now of getting a lot of those kids. And I think a lot of kids who get to watch us play in the style of volleyball we play and everything about Long Beach State volleyball and the pyramid and the culture of our program and the former athletes and the fans and everything that makes Long Beach State what it is. I think there's a lot of people that are gravitating to wanting to play there over the last many, many years. And I think that obviously talent is required to be successful. But I think that the number one thing, though, has been the culture and the competitiveness of our gym and the way the guys support each other and the way the alumni support our program and the way the fans support our program. It's been building and building and building, and it's been a pretty enjoyable ride for sure.
Excellent stuff. Well, let me ask you this, Al. How would you best describe Big West Conference play of where it's at today?
I just think it's getting better, meaning the level's been high for a long time, but the game is changing so fast right now. The brand, the style of volleyball that's being played. I think there's so many talented players in this league, and I think the coaches are doing a great job. And I think that just our fans, if you're a volleyball fan and you're a fan of Big West volleyball, you're seeing some amazing volleyball every night, and you've been seeing this now since the inception of our league. And I think that this year is going to be no different. There's a lot of guys that graduated. A lot of teams lost key pieces, like happens every year, but some years more than others. And I think last year was a year that teams returned last year some of their core pieces, and a lot of them were seniors. And some teams obviously lost their seniors or lost some key pieces, but I think there's some really talented freshmen and some guys that maybe didn't get on the court last year that they're gonna keep the level very, very high for the Big West. And it's such a gauntlet, and it's so much fun to coach in this league, and I can't wait to get after it again. But we have a whole bunch of matches to play before we get to that point, but it should be a lot of fun.
Well, I appreciate your time, Al. Look forward to catching you in person.
All right, thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.
Rob also caught up with junior opposite Skylar Varga.
Skylar Varga, outside hitter from opposite hitter from Long Beach State, the redshirt junior from Munster, Saskatchewan, Canada. Looking back on 2024, your beach team finished with the conference regular season title and their third straight Big West Volleyball Championship, doing it in Oahu. Battled your way through the NCAA championship match. Can you share your thoughts after reflecting on the 2024 season?
I thought it was a great season for us. We made big strides. We obviously won the Big West Conference and finished second against UCLA in that final. I thought it was a super competitive year. I thought our team did great. Would have loved to come out with that national championship, but I guess it just doesn't work that way sometimes. And we're really looking forward to this upcoming season. We got a lot of depth on our team, and trying to run it back again this year and come back with a national championship. So,
well, now you're coming into this 2025 season. You've got some powerful performers back. That include yourself and All-American outside Soto Shapanis, or Sotiris if you want to get technical on it, and then a Big West All-Freshman team middle, Lazar Buchkov. What expectations do you have for yourself and these other guys that were key pieces of last year?
I think, we lost a lot of guys last year, a lot of our starting lineup, but again, like with Sotos and Lazar, seeing a lot of the court time last year, it's another year for us to gain that experience. So we also lost a lot of leaders from last year. Obviously, we graduated 8 guys, and it was is a lot of our leaders on our team. So what I expect from us three, especially on the court, is to lead our team. And I think definitely with our personalities on the court and how close we are, I think that's definitely doable and something that'll just keep us closer on court, whatever off the court, leading our new guys that we brought in. So I think us three, especially us three, it's going to be a great group of guys for sure.
You bring in some youngsters, as always, as do all teams do, because that's just par for the course. But you bring in a name who also has got some international, senior national team experience, and that would be Moni Nikolov. But I wanted to have you talk about him and the other new guys that are coming in.
Yeah, so we have, Moni. He's a super physical guy, just like his brother. A lot of people know Alex. And when you think of Moni, it's Alex, but in the setting position. He's a super physical guy, got a crazy arm, super creative, high IQ for the game, but he also sets the ball right. So it's the best of both worlds. He's super physical, and that's exactly what we need as a setter. And we also have another Canadian opposite, Daniil Hirshnovich. He's absolutely crushing it on the opposite. He was also on the national team this summer. And then we also brought in two freshman liberos who are competing for that libero spot, and they're absolutely great. They're maybe not as versed in international competition as Moni or Daniil, but they're competing as hard as they can, and they still bring in a lot of talent, a lot of skill, and a lot of leadership for how young they are. So yeah, we have a super diverse team in that sense, and I'm really looking forward to playing with these guys.
All right, Skylar, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for hanging with me today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Now that we've gone through all the interviews, analysis, and team tidbits, we're ready to go for this upcoming season. Rob, what are you most excited about as the season gets rolling?
Chloe, I'm excited about the phenomenal amount of talent that's up and down the Big West rosters this season. In fact, my bold prediction is that there will be a Big West team playing for a national championship.
We sure hope one of our Big West teams makes it to the final match in Ohio. Before we go, though, remember the Hawaiian Islands presents the 2025 Outrigger Big West Men's Volleyball Championship. It's set for April 24th through 26th at Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center on the campus of the University of Hawaii. For event and ticket information, please visit us at bigwest.org. We leave you with a look at the 2025 Big West Men's Volleyball preseason poll and all-conference team as selected by our coaches. For Rob Aspero, I'm Chloe Clark. Thanks for watching and enjoy the season.
America's best play in the Big West. Don't miss the Hawaiian Islands presents the 2025 Outrigger Big West Men's Volleyball Championship, April 24th through the 26th on the campus of the University of Hawaii. Be there as 6 of the nation's elite teams battle for a conference title and a top spot in the postseason. Visit bigwest.org for more information.